But I really think the best way to have morning rituals Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I wanted to talk about morning rituals, why we do them, what they are, why the internet is so obsessed with them, etc. So I wanted to just answer a couple questions that I've heard about morning rituals and like what they are in general. So what is a morning ritual? A morning ritual is just what you do in the morning, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but gets really complicated the more you watch these morning ritual videos, and everyone has different ones. Everyone starts at like 4 a.m. it seems. So is that the only way to have a morning ritual? In my opinion, absolutely not. A morning ritual is just what you like to do in the mornings. So that can be as simple as every morning I wake up and have a cup of coffee. That is your morning ritual. And they can, of course, get more complicated with however much time you have in the morning. But contrary to what you see on the internet, I don't think most people have 4 hours in the morning before they start work to do all of these things. So a morning ritual doesn't have to be that complicated. A morning ritual can be 3 things that you enjoy doing to kickstart your day, your week, your month, whatever it is, whenever you get a chance to fit it in the best way for you. So should you have a morning ritual? That is entirely dependent on you. I thought of doing this video because I have been completely out of my morning ritual lately. I had a wedding last week, which is why I didn't post a video on Friday. I've had friends in and out of town. My dog is sick today. Things happen. You wake up and things happen. You can't always plan for it. You can't always wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. every single day. So whether or not you have a morning ritual is entirely dependent on yourself and what you know your responsibilities are. But the reason why people are so drawn to morning rituals is because it does start your day off right. When you have those routines, when you know how your day is going to start every morning, you know when you're going to log into work, how you're going to be feeling, how much coffee you've already had that day, whatever it is, you know that you're already set up for success. And that is the feeling that people are searching for when they do these morning routines. And again, this means so many different things to so many different people. Going to the gym at 4 a.m. for me does not sound like starting my day off on the right foot. It sounds completely miserable to me. So it's not going to be part of my morning routine. I don't care how many videos I see with that being the trend and everyone saying that that is the only way to do it. I am not going to wake up and go to the gym. What I can do sometimes is do a quick workout in my living room, 10 to 20 minutes maybe if I'm lucky. And that is part of my morning routine. Just whatever brings you joy and wakes you up and helps you check off those boxes so that once you do start your day, you've already succeeded. You've already done these things that make you feel good and that move your body and wake you up and get ready and excited for the day ahead. So it doesn't have to be working out. It can be just doing your makeup. It can be just washing your face. That can be part of your routine. Wake up, have some coffee, wash my face, log into work. That is a morning routine. It doesn't have to be this huge, complicated, Instagrammable thing where you make your smoothies. Like, if you can and if you have time to do that, that is awesome. I wish I had time and a blender to make a smoothie every morning, but I don't. So sometimes I make a protein shake and, with the powder and a spoon, like very basic, very old school. But I feel great when I have those every morning. And I know that I've already ticked off that box of starting my day off right. That's what works for me. So should you have a morning routine? I think yes. I think it's a very easy way to build up confidence and start your day already accomplishing things, but I don't think it has to be super elaborate. So that begs the question, what should be part of your morning routine? And like I've been saying, it's entirely dependent on you, your schedule, your responsibilities, your job. If your job already starts at 5 or 6 a.m., then you probably don't want to wake up at 3 to have a 3-hour morning routine. So you have to figure out what works for you. And I read once that you should tier your morning routines based on your energy levels. So pick out a morning routine, your dream scenario, best case. You wake up feeling super refreshed, you slept super well last night, went to bed early maybe, and you woke up all ready for the day. What would be on that list for your morning routine? And that could be, very elaborate things if you want to make it that, like working out, making coffee, having water, making a smoothie, making a really nutrient dense breakfast, walking the dog, going for an actual walk around the block with your pet, adding everything on your list that you think would make you feel good in the morning. And that is your best case scenario list. So if you wake up full of energy, that's what you do. And then the next tier is if you maybe wake up with some energy, but you didn't really sleep super well. So tier 2 is that big idea list, dream scenario, just cut back a little. Like if you wake up a little bit late or just a little bit lower energy and you can't walk the dog around the block, that's the thing that goes from that list. So you do wake up, have your coffee, make your smoothie, do a few other things on that list, but you have to lose walking the dog around the block because you don't have enough time, or you have to do writing in your journal that morning. You decide, so you'd pick and choose what works for you on these sort of medium energy days. For me, that is the first thing to go is, of course, that 10-minute workout routine. Like sometimes you just can't. Like this morning, I woke up and the dog hadn't slept well all night. She was crying a lot, so I had been waking up a few times over the course of the night to check on her and walk her at like 3:30 in the morning. I woke up like an hour later, make sure she had water, and she was crying a lot, so I kept checking on her. So I didn't sleep well, she didn't sleep well. It was not gonna be a day to walk her around the block, and honestly, it was not a day for me to do that 10-minute workout because by the time I had taken care of her, she had gotten sick in the crate, so by the time I had cleaned that out, cleaned her up, it was a whole thing. I had no time to do anything but make my coffee and write down my to-do list for the day. Which brings me to the last tier, which is 0 energy days, which I think is more so what today was than a medium energy day. I felt like I had some energy today, so I think I kind of already associated it with a medium tier, but because of time and resources and the ability to tackle everything I wanted to tackle, it became a low energy day, which is for me having coffee and writing my to-do list. Those two things. If I can get those two things done, I am done for the day. And that low energy, lowest tier day is the most basic morning routine that you go for. It's really just for those days. Maybe you woke up late, you snoozed too much, or like you just didn't sleep well, or you're just not feeling it. You don't need a valid excuse for how to live your life. If you aren't feeling doing your whole 5-layered morning routine that day, you don't have to do it. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. This is your life. Listen to your body because our bodies truly do talk to us. And if your body is telling you one morning, I don't have the energy to do this, I don't want to, I want to sit and be a bum today, then listen to it because it's probably very important. Your body could be fighting off a cold. I feel like I'm still recovering from this wedding on Friday. We had a ton of friends in town. Everyone left on Sunday. I barely feel like I had a chance to just relax. So I am not at my highest energy level right now. And I know we're getting into the holidays. People are going to be traveling, visiting family, and that can bring up a lot of stuff. So don't force yourself to have these routines. I think it's so dangerous how our culture has adapted the morning routine to become the it girl, and the narrative around that, meaning that if you're not doing these things and if you're not waking up at 4 a.m., making your bed, going to the gym, drinking your water, having a breakfast, not having coffee until 8 a.m., all of these things, like that might work for that person, but it is not going to work for everyone. And it's not something that we should all be aspiring to. It's something that we can admire for that one person because it works for them and that's awesome. But it doesn't mean that you're a failure if you can't do these things too. Everyone is different. Our responsibilities are different. Our priorities are different, and that's okay. My priorities are not the same as my friend's priorities. It's not the same as my partner's priorities. We are so different. So trying to adhere to one system of doing things that only leads us to feeling like we're total failures for not meeting some sort of disingenuous societal system of living, I mean, it's not worth it. So do what you want to do. If you want a morning routine and you haven't been able to figure out how to do it, then start with that 3-tiered system. Write your dream scenario, what you would do if you had all the time in the world and you didn't have to go to a job, whatever it is. If you just wake up naturally at 6 a.m. and you have a couple hours, if you wake up just naturally at 6 a.m. and you have a couple hours to kill and you can knock off everything on your dream list, then do it. If you wake up and you have no energy and all you have the energy to do is take 5 minutes for yourself to get into your day, ease into your day, whatever you need, then do that. And that is totally sufficient. The point of the morning routine, again, is to start your day off feeling successful. I like to make my side of the bed every morning because I don't throw my blankets everywhere. It's super easy for me to just toss my comforter back into place, and that is immediately in the first 5 seconds of my day something that I have accomplished and something that I have done that I can cross off the list. That's what the morning routine is meant to do. It's meant to be easy things that naturally come to you. And maybe you can add things that push you, like working out or writing in a journal or writing a to-do list for the day. And you can push yourself a little bit, but it's supposed to be things that move you forward, that bring you closer to who you want to be that day. And if that is not the it girl style of doing things, then that is totally okay. This is your life and this is your morning routine. So customize it to you, make it your own. And as you're doing that, drop comments below and let me know what you've added to your morning routine, because as much as it sounds like I hate those videos, I really do love them. I love watching them and seeing how different people start their days. And sometimes I borrow ideas, like writing a to-do list down, writing a quick little note to myself or a note to my partner, anything that I can get from these ideas, but I don't try to force any of those ideas on me. If something sparks my interest and makes me feel like I could very easily add that to my routine on one of those tiered levels, then I'm gonna do it. And I love that. So if you have ideas, if you have started a morning routine and it's going really well for you, drop it in the comments below because I want to hear what you're doing. And I hope you all just take time for yourself every morning, because once that day has started, it's like a runaway train, and I know that and you know that. So we are here to support each other. We are here to move ourselves forward as best as we can. So again, take time for yourselves. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving week. If you need to, walk away, take care of yourselves. Don't forget those morning routines, those tiers, even if it's just the low energy day, even if you're sleeping in until noon on Friday and you can still wake up and do a couple of things. Just do something that moves you, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, just make sure you're doing it for yourself. Thanks, everyone.